Hey guys, welcome, welcome. Alright, so we're back with more prep work. We got a lot done yesterday. I think it was like less than 2 hours, but it was a lot. So we basically created 2 other kingdoms that we may or may not use. We did part of like religion because that's a huge part. Government, I still gotta work on that, but at least I got names. So it's not too bad. And then we were looking at characters, writing those down, and then we started plotting the novel, and we got Act 1 done. So we moved on to Act 2, and that's when things kind of slowed down because it's the middle of the story. And at the middle of the story, you know, sometimes writing the middle is like the toughest part to do. So I was thinking all day, and normally I'd have the stream earlier, especially for the prep work, but I just couldn't really figure out how to progress. I was talking to Husbando, and we're like, oh, I kind of figured it out on my own. Just talking to someone about the plot of a story helps. Alright, so we're going to continue with Act 2, and then hopefully get to Act 3. And what I decided to do is to incorporate what I had already written in the novella. So the events stay the same, it's just the order in which they happen is different, and the situation may change, but I'm not gonna copy it word for word. I'm just going to have that influence. Alright, so Act 2. And that's when you basically try to figure out the problem and put obstacles in the character's way. Like for Lucinda specifically, she's trying to find out about the missing people, and everyone's against her. They believe she killed somebody, but it was like a familiar that was killing everybody else. So there's a lot of conflict going on. Alright, so because of the religious procession coming through town, the mayor basically hosts a party, and this is new. I've never written this scene before. Okay, so the mayor's gonna host a party. So everyone's invited. And then Father Bennett and Father David would be there. Lucinda isn't invited because nobody really wants her around. But Michael and Ethan are, so those two have to mingle, and that's just like basic things for me. But guess what? Lucinda sneaks in. Not because she wants to go to a party, but mostly because she thinks something's going on. So I did also make the chat a little bigger. And then I did it on 2 different parts. And it works, so I'm glad about that. Okay. Lucinda sneaks in. Oh, you know what? No, not like that. How about Lucinda sneaks out, and she notices like suspicious people going to the mayor's house. She decides to follow them. Discovers like a dungeon where they have people trapped. Tries to liberate people, but then gets caught and knocked out. Up at the house, now this is not going to happen in like one whole scene. Sometimes you have to break up the scene bit by bit. But back up at the house, Michael gets a feeling because he is a holy knight, so he can sense corruption, like vampire corruption and stuff. So his like vampire alarm tingles or something. Investigate the room. And then further investigation, he finds maybe a familiar or something. Now this may change, but at the same time, it's like I'm putting something down so that way I know a little bit of how I want things to go. It's like a roadmap. You don't always have to follow everything specific, but you know, it's there. Alright, so finds a familiar. I don't know, attacking maybe? Maybe not? I'm not sure about that, but he finds something. Then he has to have Ethan alert everybody. No one leaves, basically. Then let's see, the familiar leaves. What else? Yes, Michael has to go back to the party. That's when people start screaming. There's an attack. So that happens. Michael has to get everybody out. Okay. So basically gets everything out. There's chaos, confusion. And then we go back to Lucinda. She wakes up because she's been kidnapped. Let's see, what else? So going back what I wrote, I revealed the traitor all too soon, and I don't know if I want to do that just yet. Well, how about she wakes up kidnapped in a cage? There's other... Yeah, she sees the other missing people. They're scared. They won't tell her what happened. But, you know, there are more missing. Missing people are further missing. Okay, so then that's a scene. I guess someone she can't see shows up. So someone gets kidnapped from the cage or gets taken out of the cage. So that happens. Back over here. Oh, we need this to be a different scene. Yeah, this is a different scene. There we go. Back at the party, Michael and the escorts clear the mansion. All familiars or vampires. Ooh, what about ghouls? I think ghouls are just the undead. Yeah, or dead. So maybe ghouls show up. That's what attacks them. Someone left a door open or something. Yeah, something like that. We'll make an excuse. So the ghouls are dead. To reassure everyone, Father David blesses, you know, the grounds to calm people. Let's see. So the scenes have to like go back and forth because it's important. So then back to Lucinda. Something happens. So maybe Michael notices that Whitman isn't there. That's the sheriff. I feel like I'm laying it on thick. Still caved up. Tries to find a way out. I'll leave that there for now. I have to see how I want to reveal this. Michael goes back to the church once everything calms down. Notice that Lucinda is missing. Maybe Finn and what's his name? Finn and Briar? Yeah. Well, you know what? Instead of that, so Lucinda sneaks out of the church, notices someone suspicious going to the mayor's house. Instead of that, how about notices maybe Briar got kidnapped by a creature, like a ghoul or familiar. He chases them. Yeah, okay, I think that would be better. Finn tells him about Briar and Lucinda going after them. So that's all he can say. Okay. Tries to find a way out. Tries to calm down Briar. He gets taken. Yeah, that'll be good. I think we'll add maybe like a guard. That's a lot. Let's see. Let's go back. What happened? Okay. So once Finn tells Michael about what happens, Michael goes in search of it. meets the trader. I think we'll just keep what we have in the previous part, but you know, still update like the language and the writing. Let me go back. Alright, so that happens. What else? So then Michael goes looking. Probably. And then I think we're gonna keep what was the same thing. Oh no, because if Finn tells him they got kidnapped, he won't go to his house. He has to go looking. He knows that vampires usually reside in like wilderness. Goes looking for them in the forest. Encounters vampires. Let's see, what else did I write? It's kind of been a while, but which is why I'm rewriting it, since so direct. It's different scenes back and forth. It's not too bad. Alright, so yeah, they fight. He follows them back to a lair. Now, it's not like their main lair, but a lair. Okay, in the meantime, Cinda meets the mother. Or like, she's like a brood mother. So I kind of had to switch part of the chapters back and forth. I might have to like combine them too, because some of them are like 500 words and it doesn't really work sometimes. I try to keep, if we're going by Word document, I try to keep like 7 pages worth, like for a chapter. And that's not much, but 7 to 10 pages, I feel like it's a good chapter for that. Let's see. Okay. Meets the mother. And we're actually going to transform Lucinda into a vampire. That's the whole thing. Alright. Then we're gonna keep what we had in the chapter. And then I believe Michael finds her. Okay, yeah, so after following the creatures back to the lair, bumps into the sheriff. Spins a lie. You followed Lucinda here. You know, something. You know, it's believable. Like, you know, she's been taken. Like, she's been, you know, they think she did it, what they said she did, which is like, no, not really. But anyways, it's a believable lie. You know, the sheriff got lost. Another lie. Says he'll be back with reinforcements. Probably can convince. Characters that are just filling in the page, just blank. So I'm trying to have them interact with more. Maybe let's see. The wave her sword. Yeah, I need more interactions because right now it seems like it's only the main story, which is kind of okay, I guess. I mean, I still have to, after I rewrite it, I still have to go back and edit. But let me try to add as much as I can. Yeah. Oops, I didn't want that. I have to go back and add more things. But if I have it down, then I won't forget. Okay. There we go. Something like that. And then I don't know, this scene right here is kind of iffy. Ooh, not what I wanted. That scene is kind of iffy. I'm gonna highlight that because I'm not really sure about it. Maybe here. Maybe I'll have a scene with Michael and his men. Okay. Then, well, we come back over here. Alright, now to rescuing the Sindel. We're back. Alright, so then Michael finds Cinda in bad shape. What else? So that's, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't know how I managed to do this in the first place. Could find other people too. Waits for reinforcement. But no one comes. The vampires, the fools or whatever, attack. Everyone has to fight. A lot of people get hurt. And so, after that, you know, Ethan brings reinforcement. And so, you know, they fight. Some soldiers get injured. Go back to town. But Father David and Father Bennett are mad because they left their post. Yeah, okay, it's happening. I mean, it happens differently, but, you know, it'll be fun. Act 2 is like the biggest part. Michael reminds them he found the people. So then, you know, they kind of have it like, oh, it was an act of the mother and stuff. People are praising the holy priest because they think he brought the people back. like through prayer or something. Okay, so then people are not put in the church. They're put. I don't know if it's the barn, but they're put somewhere where they're treated like they won't say anything. Ethan noticed this that, you know, Lucinda isn't quite right. Michael kind of tries to be like, go help the others, I'll deal with her, you know, that sort of situation. So he's hiding things. I don't know, I feel like maybe he'll feel like responsible because, you know, he was also skeptic of what she was saying, like, hey, you know, stuff are happening. Don't need to bring her sword, that's the thing. Because I feel like she'll need that. Okay, so we're almost to Act 3, I feel like. Alright, so at that point, what happens? Form. Is she? I feel like I skipped something. Okay, I feel like I missed a chapter or something because the story's not making sense from chapter to chapter. Alright, let's get back to the last one. Ah, okay, I feel like I missed a couple. Oh, not enough time is what I called it. Hang on. Oh, come on. There we go. Then, yeah, these chapters are like completely out of order. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we go back to town. You know, the sheriff, they bump into the sheriff with his so-called reinforcement. He was all late. I think I picked that up. failures. Get attack. Then there's fire everywhere, you know. Panic. So a lot of it is just keeping what we had so far. They're right at the church though. Maybe they bring them to the inn. I have to figure out where they were. I don't remember where. They can make like temporary shelters. That's gonna bother me though if I don't know. But that's fine. Okay, so now attack the whole town, getting attacked. Then there's reinforcements, but I don't know if the other Holy Knights are kind of like, I don't know if I should have that though. Oh, you know what? It could be like 2 of them. They were nearby. I guess Father David sent an emergency message. Something wicked happening. Tanya or something. Michael wouldn't do his job. But I don't know, I kind of want to have so many of them. Like, I would believe it if there was like 1 or 2 because they're nearby during the cleanse. You can have like 2 of them, and it's like that don't make sense. No, there's 3 of them. Okay, so that's not too bad. Okay, that's, I don't know. Yeah, maybe there's 3. It is believable. Maybe just 2. Maybe it's a little bit too much. So okay, so that happens. All that at the same time. I think. And then I'm just like trying to climb through here. Alright, so back at the church. It's the morning after the attack. You know, people got bitten. So they have to burn the bodies. A couple of Michael's men die. Ethan is hurt. Briar and Finn are okay. Maybe Briar's not okay. Probably, yeah. Actually, Briar and Finn are not okay. Finn was with Briar when all that mess happened, and it's a dark fantasy, so it didn't end happily. Alright, so we gotta burn the body so that Michael and the Holy Knights can work. Find the nest, right? Alright, but if they find the nest, they're still the traitors. I don't know, maybe they shouldn't find out. Maybe Michael tells them of his suspicions. Claims dismissed? Claims dismissed. As they're working, Father David needs Tanya prayer because he takes this seriously, and even though he doesn't like did have a reason to be like not trusting of her. I mean, it's yeah. I think it works. All right. Can I do something? So how about the Knights might go get to work, but then Ethan wants to help, but he's told to recover. More proof needed? Or they say, let's go ask the sheriff. Okay. Oh, I see, I see. So that happens. They go ask, Lucinda, back to Lucinda, wants to take matters into her own hands. You know, she's going to hunt down Whitman for what he did. So, attacks the sheriff. But the Holy Knights appear. Because they also went to go ask the sheriff. Yeah, okay, that works. Like, they clash. Alright, so, up here. Sheriff escapes. So, the Holy Knights and Michael need to deal with a vampire Lucinda. Michael wants to capture her, but the others might not be open to that. I think they do capture her. I think it'll add to it. Okay, so Lucinda gets captured by the Holy Knights. Alright, so that kind of then... It's the morning after the attack. I'm thinking... That could potentially be... After the attack, we go to... Oh, I see. It was 1, 2... Okay, let me see. I might have to switch this. Act 3. We're right at the end then. So after the attack would be a good place to start Act 3. That was Act 2. All that happened on the beach, got attacked, and then Act 3. Yeah, I think that's where to start Act 3. Okay, so Lucinda is questioned by Michael and the Holy Knights. She tells them where the nest is. So they go out to the nest. The Holy Knights do. And this is already stuff that happened, but I just had to like add more stuff to it. I mean, it's technically maybe the same, but I do want to add a couple of other things. And I might have to, because right now it feels like main story. So we'll have to go back. Oh, you know what? She gets captured. Father, David, and Bennett, they make a big deal out of it. Like, they want her gone. You know, Bennett is like, I knew it. She was in league with them. Not questioned. But, Gabriel tells them to go pray or something. Okay. So then... Alright, so they go, but then Lucinda escapes. There we go. So she goes after Sheriff Whitman. They fight. Michael follows and he lets Lucinda finish Whitman off. Like, he lets it happen. And so, no, actually, and he's the one that does the deed. And she's like, hey, that should have been me, but he don't care. He tells her, lead him to the nest. You know what? Maybe Ethan also follows because he doesn't want to be stuck in bed doing nothing and resting. Yeah. That would be good. Okay, so then let's have them. They reach the nest, but Gabriel is infected, maybe? Like, at least one of the knights? Let me add him to the list. Who was the other one? Who's the other? There's two. I'll name him in a bit. I didn't really do much. Okay. That's a lot of fighting. Michael is turns unconscious. I think they attack him. So then Gabriel and Lucinda bring Michael to the brood mother. But then, oh, you know, Ethan could attack them. also unconscious, maybe dead, I don't know. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Maybe Gabriel takes care of him. Oh no. Okay, so that happened, but Michael is faking unconsciousness. There's like a holy grenade or something. That'd be cool. There's like chaos. Gabriel, please. Good as the mother. Fight through the horde. Colony. So then Lucinda goes after Gabriel. Michael loses sight of her, but ends up chasing the mother. Okay, I think that'd be good. And then alright, so this one I didn't do too much of it, but of course, Lucinda and Gabriel fight. It was like scenes back and forth of them fighting. Exhausted, Michael was victorious. But Lucinda appears. She attacks him. He's too tired to fight. But doesn't get rid of him. She wanted him to like attack her, and she wasn't gonna do anything to stop him. He punches her because he wasn't gonna do that. Okay, and then they agree, well, Cinda wants to hunt the other vampires around. Plans to. Michael is gonna go with her. So then, a resolution-ish. Michael and Lucinda decide to travel together, hunting vampires. I mean, then again, I feel like that's kind of bland because there's some unsolved things. So like unsolved plot points. So first, they have to bury the bodies. They have to deal with Father David and Father Bennett. Because they didn't really uncover the corruption. But But I feel like maybe not everything should have like a neat bow tied to in the end. Like, you know, the mayor can still be corrupt, Father Bennett can still be corrupt, because at the end of the day, it's like, only the sheriff was uncovered. So it could be that, you know, they leave Kanya to their fate. Mostly because, you know, after Lucinda got blamed for a crime she didn't commit, everybody really turned against her and believed all the lies that were spread. So it's like, you know, now that she's no longer human, it's more like, why would I spend my time worrying about them type of mentality? Okay. Yeah, there's a lot more. But I think for now, we have our main plot, which is what I really wanted to do today. We have all 3 acts. A lot of it was different or added, and then a lot of it stayed the same from the original. But, you know, a few things are going to change. I just don't know how. At least I have the main parts of what's going to happen. And then I feel like when I'm writing, I can also just add more stuff. So, what I do want, I'm going to do some map making, so that's probably Thursday, because Wednesday and Thursday, I'm super busy this week. I have to turn in some technology, and I have a reunion to go to. Oh, so it's a lot happening. I'm not really sure, but I do want to work on like the holy influence. So their belief can affect vampires like an aura, trained by the Dawn Church and monasteries, and the church is the only one who can, quote unquote, grant this power. So the effect is, like, they can stun vampires, can burn them as well, but they can't, you know, get rid of them outright. They gotta be weakened first. Of course, there's a price to use this aura. But other benefits, I guess, you can call them, include sensing vampires, like a radar. What they can or can't do. It's not going to be crazy. It'll just be helpful. But I think we also need, because we have the world building, but at the same time we need the history. So how did the vampires come to be? I was kind of thinking about it, because it's going to be, you know, the true history is going to be lost. Like, the church doesn't want to have this found out. So long ago, there's the unnamed kingdom. The church didn't have that much power. A few members like resorted to sorcery or like corruption. Like maybe summoning. So they resorted to this so that way they can become important. So it's like, oh look, there's a problem and we are the only ones that can fix it, even though they caused that problem to begin with. However, of course, it went wrong. And they had an infestation. I don't know, demons? Maybe? I don't know, fiends. They're different. So the church really had to step up. But they were outnumbered. So then maybe they fused, I don't know, a demon and a human together. I don't know how that happened, but you know, magic, dark magic. And the first vampire was born. Maybe they made an army and pushed back the fiends / demons. But of course, the vampires, they didn't want to be controlled, so they rebelled. Huge fight. It lasted for a long time. The church rose to power. I think there was like, I think I said it was like the third war that Lucinda's dad got injured and had to be discharged. So, you know, there was like multiple battles, multiple wars. So then there's, in the third one, like a lot, maybe 20 years before the start. I think I have 20 years. See. I said 30. You know, the vampires are quote-unquote eradicated, but that's not really true. I think we'll leave it at that for now. So then the church starts to lose power because, you know, people believe, oh, they're not needed anymore. You know, the vampire is gone. So then the church, you know, does it again. Like, spreads information that, you know, remnants, the servants, you know, so they're basically using a scare tactic to have people like continue worshiping the dawn. There we go. And then, like that vampire they created to help with the... they called her the mother. And it's gonna be kind of a callback to, like, the head of the church called the Dawn Mother. So it's kind of like, you know, history there. Alright, so technically that's not everything that happened, but the majority of it. Alright, so we have our plot. We have the history of stuff. Religion, I think we got a good one. Characters. I have to figure some stuff out, because right now it only stays in Kanya, my main setting, really. And so, in the second story, I had planned to expand a little bit more, but still keep it in the outskirts of the world. So I think what I can do I'm going to have to make my map. So I have the map of Kanye, which is what I needed, but I also need to have my world map, which I have a vague idea of what I want. But that's probably going to be for another stream because I still have to think about how the world is set up and everything. Yeah, but for now, I think we finished the plot, which is great. We got the history. You know, I still have to add more details to the plot, but that can be added when I'm actually writing. So I think this would be a good place to wrap up the stream, just because the next part is map making. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that either Wednesday or Thursday, since those 2 days are busy for me, but I probably can do it Friday. I think that can work. All right, so that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me as I prep for Camp National Novel Writing Month, which starts this Saturday, actually. I'm also going to be writing about 2,000 words a day, and I'll kind of be streaming that as well, but I'm not sure how long that's going to take me. So it'll be late night streams. I think I'm writing better at night. I usually find that I write better at night rather than during the day or vice versa, but we'll see. I do like to thank you for dropping by. I really appreciate it. I hope to catch you guys next time. Bye.